once again to the business of sustainability, where we talk about corporate social responsibility and environmental sustainability in the workplace. I'm Chuck Otto. My guest today is Alicia Ponce. She is a lead AP accredited professional. She is principal of AP.MonArch, a Chicago-based architectural firm, and we're delighted to have her here. Thanks for being here, Alicia. So we talk about lead buildings and lead accredited professionals, et cetera, et cetera. What does it really mean, just on a very fundamental level, so folks will understand what it is, in particular, a lead architect does?
LEED is a building rating system in which buildings are rated by a third party to make sure that people who are designing and building it are held accountable. Mm-hmm. So buildings are certified, and people who are administering LEED, such as myself, they are LEED accredited.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. How does that translate to the work that you do, since it is kind of one of the strengths of your particular architectural mm-hmm. firm? How do you incorporate it into your work?
Well, it's definitely one of the core principles of my firm. So what we do is that we try to inform the client. Anybody that comes in, they want to do a green building, whether it's using green materials or energy efficiency. They want to do something good for the environment, or be economical. So we try to inform them as much as we can.
Is green a hard sell these days? Do folks understand it? When they hear green building, do they understand some of those things about efficiency and materials and whatnot?
I think more and more they do understand it, because you hear it a lot more. There are a lot of programs out there, especially tax incentives for anybody who wants to do a green building, whether it's a small commercial space or a new single family, residential project. So mm-hmm. there's advantages and incentives for everyone. And
again, do folks get it? I mean, do they ask for it, or is it still something that you have to kind of gently suggest to them?
It's a little of both. People understand, the green materials, and I'll gauge what kind of experience they have, or I'll present solutions for them. So I think little by little, with the information that we have out there, people get it. Yeah, mm-hmm. they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How long have you been in business with AP.MonArch?
We're going on our 8th year.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been doing it quite a bit. And
yes.
Have you always been a lead accredited professional as part of this, or did you start off kind of as an architect and work your way into the green sector?
I started off, my background is in architecture, and I've been in the business for about 15 years now. Mm-hmm. But almost 8 years ago, I said, for me, this is the way to go. Sustainability is not just a professional mission, but it's a personal mission, because I really believe in a green and healthier environment. So yeah, 8 years ago, I became LEED accredited and started on my own consulting firm.
Mm-hmm. You're teaching as well. Mm-hmm. Did that kind of precede the whole green thing? Have you taught the fundamentals of architecture pretty much all along, or how did it work its way in?
That happened, it was a nice mesh. It happened all at the same time. When I started my own business in sustainability, I was introduced to one of the deans. I started off at Columbia College, where mm-hmm. they had a master's program in green design. I've also taught at the College of DuPage, again in green materials, and currently I'm teaching at Robert Morris College, also with construction green materials. Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. So let me ask you, when folks think about designing a space to be more environmentally friendly and sustainable, what are kind of the let's say 3 basic principles that they should think about?
The basic principles are, it's very simple. Like on a small scale, you want to think of materials that are, healthy for the environment. I think a lot of us have heard the term VOC, mm-hmm. low VOC.
Volatile organic compounds,
yes,
those
very
nasty
good.
things,
mm-hmm.
yes.
So we want a lot of the materials that are out there have low to no VOC now. So those materials are readily accessible. There's also lighting. Lighting, you can control that by dimmers. You can see how your space works with natural daylight and artificial daylight. So you can start, doing little by, take baby steps with green design.
So materials, lighting, and one more.
You have your mechanical systems. When you're doing an upgrade, every 20 or 15 to 20 years, you may reach that point. It's good to understand how your system will be efficient, and when you get that new system, when you upgrade to a new system, there are those tax incentives. You think of the cost. A lot of people are worried about cost when they do green design, but you do get some, return on investment.
Now, when you and I spoke earlier, you mentioned certain stores or certain kinds of merchants that particularly cater to either reuse of materials or more energy-friendly materials. Could you mention a few of them?
Yeah, locally here in Chicago, there's the Rebuilding Exchange. It's a salvage material store where you can find any type of material, building material. There's also locally Green Home Chicago. It's a green design center in the West Loop. And really, even, your big stores, your Home Depot, your Lowe's, Menards, they all have these materials that are labeled with low to no VOC, stuff that people can understand. The Energy Star label is a very important label to look for too.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, how can folks reach out to you to find out more about your services and learn more about green building and architecture?
Sure. I have a website. It's www.AP.MonArch.com. I also have a Facebook page at AP.MonArch and Twitter, AP.MonArch. So it's very
interesting how it all kind of meshes together.
Yeah,
like
the butterflies are everywhere.
The butterflies are everywhere. That's part of her symbol, is the monarch butterfly. Oh, of course. Now I get it.
The monarch butterfly is a symbol of a healthy environment, healthy biodiversity. So.
Wow. Well, thanks for closing the loop on that for me, because now I get it totally.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for joining me today, and thank you for watching.